All right, so for the last couple days, I've really been thinking about a lot of stuff. I don't regret my decision. I've just been thinking about everything I'm doing with my car, and I feel like I should make a video on it to kind of help other people that are debating either building their engine or supercharging their car or like just in general spending a large amount of money modifying your car. So I've been in the car scene for almost probably like 2 years, a little over 2 years now, like going to meets, hanging out, cars and coffee, photography, all that stuff. I always wanted to have like the fastest car out of all my friends, but it seems like the longer that I'm in the car scene, the faster the cars get. And when I decided to build my engine, I was basically doing it because I wanted, like I said, I wanted to be the fastest car out of all my friends. Right now, it just seems like there's always going to be people faster than you, and you just kind of have to accept that. Like, I was gonna start doing like money runs and other stuff this summer, and I'm gonna be pushing like a lot of power, but I don't know if it's really gonna be worth it. Like, really what I just wanted to talk about in this video is if someone's in a similar position, either thinking about like camming their car, doing heads cam, manifold, intake, all that stuff, headers, or if someone should just supercharge it. Like, my advice to someone would be, if you're not planning on keeping your car for at least like 3+ years, I would just supercharge it, because you could get a Whipple and push around 580 horsepower and it's gonna cost you like 6-7 grand, maybe 8 grand. And it's gonna be easy to install. Worst case, you can always just take it right off, take the tune off, and then sell the car, and everything will be easy. You don't have to worry about the DOD delete, AFM. You don't have to rip the whole engine out and do what I'm doing and wait. Like, so far it's been 2 months almost without my car, and it's like really boring to just sit around with no car. And when you build the engine, it's a lot more than you think it is. It's not just like heads, cam, pistons. Like, you have to get gaskets, studs, bolts, all kinds of extra shit that you don't even think about. The price is significantly more to just build the engine, even with like a small cam, than it would be to just get a supercharger. And honestly, I think the power of just an NA build with what I'm doing is going to be very similar to just supercharging the car. So for me, doing heads, cam, pistons, manifold, E85, all that extra stuff, headers, I almost feel like it would have just been smarter to just buy a supercharger. Like, I am planning on keeping my car for a while, but when you're building the engine, like I was saying before, it all really just snowballs. I put in a small cam because I didn't want to break the transmission, and I didn't want to have to buy this thing called a torque converter. So I was emailing with BTR, and they helped me pick out the cam kit and everything, so I don't need that. But now with me wanting to add a blower on top, you have to worry about your compression in the engine, because you're not going to make as much power with regular compression versus lowered compression. You have to worry about what kind of supercharger you get, if you get a Pro Charger or if you get a Whipple or like a Magnuson or something else. You have to worry about the head gaskets if they're, piston rings. You have to worry about so much other things that you don't think about. Then you have to worry about, I have a 10-speed. I called 6 or 7 different transmission shops in 3 different states. No one wants to touch it to build it, so it's very difficult. Like, obviously it's going to cost a lot of money. That's not what the surprise is with me. It's just a snowball of things. Like, every little decision you make, you might have to go back and buy that part twice, or buy a different part. And if you buy a different part, then you have to get like 10 other different parts. So after you build the engine, obviously you have to worry about the transmission. But aside from just the transmission, you have to do the drive shaft, the axles, all the bushings, the control arms, everything. You have to obviously get the fuel system, to get the tune. I'm gonna have to do maybe a 15-inch conversion on the rear end so I could get a drag pack with like huge tires on there to be able to support that kind of power. And you have to worry about trailering it around, breaking the engine in. This video, I really just wanted to say, if you're not planning on keeping your car for more than 2 to 3 years, you would be okay with having the power of a ZL1 or like 600 I would say you could probably get a tuner to stretch the horsepower to like 650, honestly. 650 wheel, it's probably like 7 something crank with just a supercharger and upgraded fuel system. I would honestly say just supercharge your car, because the money you're gonna spend just the cam in the car, you're honestly not gonna make that much power. You'll make a little more, but you have to port the heads, upgrade the heads, get an intake manifold on there, upgraded intake, and you have to get headers. If you do just cam, like just a cam, it's not gonna do that much. So with that whole package and everything, plus labor and, you know, getting it ported and everything put together, it's probably gonna be around 3,500, maybe $4,000. Now, if you could buy a supercharger, a Whipple, for like high 6,000s right now, that's $2,000 more. The install is going to be way easier, and worst case, you could just take it off. All right, so that's one more thing I'm going to talk about, the price of everything. So my cam package, I'm going to say was around $1,500 with all the upgraded head stuff and the cam. My fuel system was probably like $2,000, all the injectors, high and low pressure fuel pumps. The pistons themselves, what was that? I think like $2,500, maybe $3,000. Plus you have to do labor for the machine shop, which is about $4,500 to $5,500. Plus I had to pay to get the engine pulled and other stuff, like when it's all put back together, put back in. That ran me like $3,000. So, you know, you're looking at quite a bit here just for the engine alone, and the power is going to be similar to a supercharger. Like I was saying, it's just everything that you do to your car, as cool as it is, you could sell it to a private like buyer on like Facebook or something, or Craigslist, or however you want to do it. You might get some of the money back, but you're never going to get all of it, because cars depreciate and everything you do to the car will not add value. It's going to be fast and it's going to be cool, but it's going to be cool and fast to you. Someone else might not want to put in what you put in for it. So for an example, my car was like around 40,000 when I had first got it. And after all the math with everything I've put in, is probably close to $80,000 or $90,000 altogether, including the car itself. When I go to sell it, I'm not gonna get that back. I'm probably gonna be able to get maybe 35 to 40,000. And that's with the mileage it has on it at the time of this recording, which is only gonna go up, so the value is only gonna go down. It is what it is, man. Just supercharge your car and enjoy it, bro. This shit's bad, dog. Hopefully this helps someone out if they're on the fence. Don't get me wrong, I love my car and I can't wait to get it back and enjoy it. Sometimes it's just so much that you have to worry about, and there's so much more of a likelihood of something going wrong, because I'm not just touching one thing. I'm not just adding boost to it and a low amount of boost. Like, I'm not just doing like simple things. Like, I literally took my entire engine out and now I have to worry about, you know, the transmission, everything else, and I just have to accept it, bro. I'm not gonna be the fastest person out there. It is what it is. If I could go back a year, honestly, I would have probably just bought a Whipple and put it on and enjoyed that. But, you know, that's the whole point of this, you know, modifying cars and stuff. It's all learning experience, and, you know, you kind of figure stuff out as you go. I can't wait to get my car back and enjoy it, and I can't wait to make some more videos with it, but I just really wanted to make this video for anyone that's on the fence. My advice would be to just supercharge your car and just leave it at that, unless you're gonna keep it for more than 2 to 3 years and you don't care about the mileage and you're not gonna sell it, because that's another thing. Hopefully this helps whoever's out there, you know, thinking about doing what I'm doing to my car to theirs. If I could go back in time, you know, I would probably do some things a little differently. You know, it is what it is. But if you guys have any other ideas for videos, be sure to leave them in the comments below. Hope you guys have a great day. I'm out.